Yeah. Do you have a question for Noah Rothman? I'm sure you've read his book front to back and or you plan to give it out as Christmas presents this fall, Mark.
Well, actually, I do have a question. I haven't gotten to read it yet. I'm looking forward to it, though. I mean, it's a little ironic, actually, because I wrote a piece over the weekend in defense of sex for pleasure. So I'm not sure I completely agree with you that progressives are anti-fun. I'm certainly not anti-fun or anti-sex. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on why you think this is a particularly progressive problem.
Sure. So, for all of our adult lives, you could count on the right to be prudish, priggish, moralistic. They, with their keen senses of propriety, saw in innocent cultural fare something that would corrupt you and degrade society. By contrast, the liberals emphasize self-fulfillment, self-gratification, even at the risk of self-destruction. Now we are treated to profound moral campaigns that are led by the left, entertainment companies that pledge to introduce didactic themes, perhaps even at the expense of a plot, so that it will serve a grander purpose, a social purpose, more so than entertainment. Comedy critics, comedians emphasizing the pain that you had to endure, someone had to endure, so that you could enjoy something as frivolous as a punchline. Sports coverage that introduces long digressions about the lamentable state of racial dynamics in America. And when fans complain, as they often do, they're explicitly admonished for putting their desire for a pastime, for a diversion, above their need to dwell on the world's horrors. This is a puritanical outlook. It is one that used to be native to the right. It is increasingly adopted by the progressive left, as progressives identify more with progressivism and less with left liberalism. And this is a thread that you can tease out all through the 16th century, through to progressivism of the 19th century, through to today. To dwell a little bit on sexual politics, because that's what people think of when they think of America, sort of a caricatured blue nose, which is actually more aligned with the Victorian-era conception of puritanical thought than actual Puritans, but nevertheless, it's our stereotype. The modern left does emphasize a sort of a self-gratification in the form of sexual identity, the proliferating sexual identities and orientations, but all of them have associated with them a political program. If you dig into it, you dwell on the utility, the political instrument of this sort of idea of sexual freedom, so that we have a rhetorical permissive atmosphere. But at the same time, there is a labyrinthine network of rituals that you have to endure and observe to observe consent. Now, consent is something that every activity that is legal observes. A non-consensual encounter is a crime that should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. But we also understand in the progressive activist class that this sort of goes beyond the statute. It's a nebulous situation that we need to expand and expose, and in some cases, write into statute. California attempted and was subsequently struck down by the courts. But it has created an atmosphere of tension in which wooing a prospective partner is a fraught prospect, and it happens less and less. In fact, the younger generation is reported constantly in surveys that they have far less sex than their parents and their grandparents. We're raising a generation that is somewhat less permissive than their grandparents. It is in the surveys. Joe, believe it or not.
Then their grandparents.
I have citations in the back of the book.
Listen, here's the deal. Here's the deal. This may have worked for you a couple of weeks ago. All right? But I think you need to write an afterword about the new Puritans after reading the Supreme Court ruling, where you actually had Supreme Court justices writing majority opinions and concurrences saying, you know what, we need to look at contraception. We need to look at what consenting adults do in their own bedroom. We have ripped out the plank of privacy in the Constitution that would actually allow consenting adults to have that freedom. I mean, you look at the Supreme Court decision, and my God, it's about as puritanical as anything we've seen. Look at.
Well, you're also referring to a concurrence, right? The Thomas concurrence.
I'm not only referring to the concurrence of Thomas, but also I don't think you're going to find many legal scholars that are going to say that Alito's justification, saying, oh, well, you know, even though we've ripped out the plank that Griswold and Loving and all of this other case law has been based on, even though we've ripped that out, don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, this is just about abortion. And I mean, it was a distinction without a difference. And then Thomas drove that point home. What could be more puritanical than the conservative Supreme Court and conservatives trying to reach into Americans' bedrooms and tell them what they can't do?
There is, of course, a burst of moral enthusiasm that we've seen after the Dobbs decision. 2 points to this. One, this book scope is within, it explicitly leaves out law, education, government, politics, the things that politics are supposed to be a part of. What this book is about is the stuff that is supposed to be outside politics, relationships, food habits, entertainment. And beyond that, look, and I agree that if I were to write a book about the old Puritans, I'd be writing about Republicans. This is a native concept to conservatism. It would be something that you would write in the 1980s. It would be a Syrian insight. But this is a new story about the discovery of a very old form of propriety, one that is native to progressivism. And progressivism's rise has brought it back to the fore. The sexual revolutionary ethos that emphasized self-gratification for its own sake is being replaced with one that has an understanding of personal boundaries that are necessary, and understanding that when men and women are together in situations that are bathed in alcohol, it can be dangerous. This was a conservative predilection and remains one because it works. It is a theory of social organization that works. And I don't differ with it as a conservative myself, but to observe it in progressives is something of an interesting condition, which is why this book is a necessary exploration of that new phenomenon.
All right. Well, I tell you what, a new phenomenon, and I'm really shocked and stunned by the stats. I just going to stay away from the villages for a while. I mean, this is incredible what you're telling me.
The book is The Rise of the New Puritans, fighting back against progressives' war on fun. Noah Rothman, thank you. Mara Gay and Walter Isaacson, thank you as well. What an exciting
We've all learned a lot today, guys. Thank you so